Oh, welcome back, everybody. We've had a lot of gray days over the last few weeks, and our bodies seem to crave the sun. But be careful, because too much sun can cause harmful damage to our skin.
Yes, dark spots on our skin, even freckles, aren't genetic. They're actually a reaction to the sun. So here to explain a few skin pigment problems and some solutions is Dr. Deborah Manjoney. She is with the Wisconsin Vein Center and MediSpa. Good to see you.
Morning.
Nice to see you too.
Thanks for wearing red today.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Absolutely. Dark spots. I think a lot of people do sometimes in the summer almost like their dark spots.
Right.
Because they feel like it gives them color or a tan or whatnot if they're fair skinned. But dark spots are not good.
No, the dark spots, even freckles. Nobody's born with freckles. You know, even beautiful redheads with that beautiful white skin, they get freckles because they've been exposed to the sun. So, you know, the freckling is your pigment coming to the surface. And of course, the more fair you are, the more freckles you might have. But at the same time, freckles are a sign of sun injury.
Yeah, and it's important to know. And you also say, and you made this point before, that sun damage is cumulative.
It is. And so you may every summer get tan, and then the tan goes away, and the next summer you get tan, and all of a sudden one year you're left with spots after that summer. And that's when people start thinking, oh my gosh, they're age spots. Well, they are in a way because it's cumulative. And so after a certain point, the sun damage you've had stays, and stays in certain areas of your face, and it does make you look older.
Yeah. And spots that show up that are not flat, those can be something to pay attention to.
Yes, it can be, because that could be either a precursor of a skin cancer or a skin cancer itself. And so those really have to be taken seriously and should be evaluated by a dermatologist.
Some people have been told they have melasma.
Right.
That's different.
Yeah,
than age
melasma
spots?
is different because it is irregular, larger pigment blotches on the skin, and people of any ethnic background can get that, but you especially see it in Asians, but also in people who have kind of darker skin, and it can be really disfiguring. It can be very dark and very blotchy. And it can occur mainly in women, almost exclusively in women, and it's frequently on the cheeks, forehead, or the mask of pregnancy. It can just be a mustache that people get. Occasionally, it's a hormonal thing that can go away if you're removing hormones for a year. But at the same time, often melasma is just there permanently, and it is very difficult to treat.
So I know there are ways that you can treat all of these things. And so as we look in the mirror and we think, oh yeah, I do have these freckles, or I do have these age spots.
So for instance, this was an intense pulse light treatment. We call it advanced fluorescent technology. And so after a couple of treatments, this very great redhead that we had, you know, gets rid of some of her darker freckles. And it really looks much nicer and more smooth tone to the skin.
That's beautiful. Look at that.
There's so many different options.
Melasma. There are an enormous number of different options, and some of these we might use a special chemical peel to get rid of the melasma. Other times we may use special lasers. Intense pulse light can actually make melasma worse. So if somebody has melasma, we have to be very careful about how we do things. But now there are pigment blockers that you can actually use at home to get yourself ready.
Or what is
well,
it?
creams and serums that will actually help to prevent more of this pigment damage from coming to the surface. But also melasma is something that's in different depths of the skin. And so you really have to have it evaluated properly to know the proper treatment. Now here, for instance, the mustache appearance is gone after some treatments. And so we have lots of different light devices, lasers, intense pulse light and all, and we use chemical peels. We also use certain drugs to help to get to the stage we want where melasma is minimized as much as possible. But it's an ongoing battle. Somebody can't just say, I'm cured from melasma. Once you go back out in the sun, it's going to happen again.
And that's why really good sunscreen is critical.
Is essential, absolutely. Plus these pigment blockers that are now available, that are only available through doctors' offices, to really help to control how much pigment is coming to the surface.
Is a melasma dangerous, or is it just cosmetic?
It's not dangerous at all, it's cosmetic. And that's the unfortunate thing, because really what happens is that it's not covered by insurance, it's not something like that, but it can be devastating. When somebody's had a baby and now their skin is permanently discolored, it can be really upsetting. And so that's one thing. And as I said, Asians, even African Americans who have lighter skin can get really blotchy marks from melasma. And so it takes a lot of work to try to figure out the right thing, and there's no 100% treatment for melasma.
You've got a number of great events coming up.
we
I want to
do.
make sure we have a little
Yes.
bit of time to go through them and also talk about them, because there's a whole lot going on.
Yes, it's a
at the
busy month in
Wisconsin Vein
February.
Center, yeah, and MediSpa. So on Wednesday, February 12th, from noon until 5:30, Dr. Joi Davis,
Well,
she's
she's
been on
giving
the show.
two talks, noon
Okay.
to 1:30, and then from 5 to 7:30, I think. or
Okay. Oh
5:30
yes,
to 7.
it's an
Yeah.
and. Yes,
Right. They're
noon
two-
and 5:30.
Right. So there are two
Yeah.
different sessions she's giving on kind of recharging your intimate life, since it's right before Valentine's Day. And so that'll be a little bit of a fun event. And then we have two other events coming up with Transform Therapeutics, talking about stem cell and regenerative therapies. And then we have our Fat Tuesday event,
Mardi
which
Gras.
is on February 25th. And it's a way that we can talk about all the different types of things we can do to help sculpt your body and get rid of the fat.
I
That's
love that. And that one's
awesome.
longer, so you can stop in, right? That one's from 9 to 6.
That's
during
all
the
day.
All
All day
day
long.
long. So that's great. Do you